Since this is not sponsored, I'm covering up the label. However, of course, Starbucks, if you want to sponsor me, I wouldn't say no. In fact, I think I'd die. Hello, my name is Allie, and today we're going to be doing another look of the era. Today we're going to be talking about the 60s and mod style makeup, so inspired by Twiggy and other supermodels of that time, and the kind of edgier, new wave, hippie era of the 60s. So if you want to see how I finish this completed look, then keep on watching. So mod is short for modern. The 60s and the mod style and the hippie style were kind of pulling away from the traditional old-fashioned style of the 50s. In the 50s you wanted femininity, beauty, and muted colors, red lips, a traditional ideal of what the housewife would look like. Whereas in the 60s, with the sex revolution, the drug revolution, with so much protests and political turmoil and the civil rights movement, people wanted to pull away from that traditional lifestyle, so people developed the mod style of makeup, which was bright colors, asymmetric shapes. So people like Twiggy exemplified the mod movement, and Bridget Bardot exemplified the glamour icon of the 60s, which was very kind of edgy. The mod had a lot of things in common with the hippie era, pairing a lot of things together that you wouldn't necessarily put together, especially within fashion. The pixie cut became very popular around this time, especially with, you know, Liza Minnelli and Twiggy having her pixie cut. When it comes to hair, you really wanted as big as you could get, as you've probably seen in like Hairspray. People would tease and hairspray their hair until it was miles high, and when it came to body types that were idealistic, Twiggy and a lot of other supermodels very much popularized the very thin without very many curves, which I personally, as a curvy bitch, do not quite follow. It was also very popular for a lot of icons and supermodels to have their own lines of makeup. So since Twiggy revolutionized a lot of different ways to do makeup, she had a eye kit. So the eyes were done pretty heavily because a lot of people wanted to use more eye-popping colors. So blues and greens and pinks were used. Right around now they started to use contour shades. The term rouge kind of went out of fashion, and the cream rouges kind of went out of fashion too. People started using powder blushes, and the term blush really came into fruition around this time, and they used like brown shades and pinky shades rather than red and more subtle shades of the 50s. So if you want to find out more about makeup history and why things were the way they were, I've been using Gabriela Hernandez's book, Classic Beauty, The History of Makeup. I definitely recommend that. She also has a really great makeup line called Besame Cosmetics. Definitely check that out. It's a great book and a great makeup line. Alright, and here is the tutorial. Alright. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Fenty Beauty foundation in the shade 180. So we want a very, very matte finish because they're still using the pancake foundation. So I'm going to take that with a Real Techniques sculpting brush. Then I'm just going to apply that all over my face. You really want to work it into the skin. Make sure you get that stash. Alright, now we're going to move on to the eyes. So I'm going to take the Maybelline Master Prime Primer, and I'm just going to put this all over my eyes so that my eyeshadow stays and goes on well. Just right in the crease and all over the lid. Gloop that stuff on there. Since we're going for like the mod style of makeup, I'm gonna go for a bit more colorful rather than just like a plain, simple like skin tone color that Twiggy would have done. So first for the eyes, I'm gonna take my Morphe 35O palette, and I'm also gonna take the Real Techniques, I think this is just a lip brush, but I use it as like a pencil brush or something. And I'm just gonna take this brown tone right here and this brown tone right here, and I'm gonna mix them, and I'm gonna put that in my crease as my like brow bone shade. So a lot of the mod style makeup was to put the like line cut crease right here. I'm gonna do it slightly above my crease just so it shows a bit more. I'm just gonna use this brown eyeshadow, and I'm just gonna put it right on like the most prominent point of my brow bone, where if my outer corner and my brow were to line up, I'm just gonna put it to there. And then I'm just gonna pull it inside my inner corner. Yeah, there you have it. Remember, it doesn't need to be perfect because we're gonna fix it up in a minute. Okay, now once you've done that, just take a small little crease brush, and I'm just using this end right here. I'm gonna take this shade and I'm just gonna blend out that top up there. I'm just gonna blend that out a bit with my finger. I'm gonna take this really, really light shade right here because I'm gonna be cleaning up the crease. So I'm gonna take this to put it all over the eye and this to clean it up. And make sure you get that into like the space between your eyelid and the crease that you've drawn on. So you wanna make sure that you get that like cut crease look. Then we're just gonna take that light color on the smaller brush and just cut out that crease. And I'm gonna take actually just a normal white color and I'm actually gonna add that right up here. Sorry, my posture was awful. Shout out to my girls with bad posture. Okay, and now that we've done that, I'm going to take from the Besame Cosmetics Snow White palette, and with just my middle finger and a lot of precision, just gonna pop that on my eye. You don't want to use too much, you want just a hint of blue. And don't bring it too close to your crease because you don't want to ruin that cut crease. And then I'm gonna take that white one more time, which is also from the Besame Cosmetics. And I'm just gonna clean that cut crease up and blend that white out with the blue. I'm just gonna swipe away at it a little bit just to pull some of it off. And then I'm gonna do the same on the other eye. And there you have it, that's the eyeshadow done. Now I'm just gonna clean up my under eyes because I have a smidge of fallout. Okay, now we're gonna do concealer. I'm going to use my Sephora Bright Future Gel Serum Concealer. You just want to put it underneath your eyes and then on any blemishes you might have. I put a little bit right here and under here because I have a bit of redness there, and just down my nose, and then pat that in with a beauty blender. I apologize for how remarkably dirty my beauty blender is. Blend out your under eyes as well. You want to kind of cut your eyeshadow a little bit along that line right there and just pat it out with your pinky finger. Before anything creases, you want to quickly put on powder. So I'm going to use the Laura Mercier translucent powder. This stuff's the best, but I'm just going to tap a little bit into that top right there, and using a Real Techniques setting brush, I'm just going to swirl it into the powder and just swipe that underneath my eyes and just generally all over my face. I use a like pretty small brush so I can make sure that I can get all of those little crevices. Alright, now that we're done powdering, we can move on to the fun stuff, the eyeliner. So I'm going to take my Stila Stay All Day waterproof eyeliner in black, and I'm just going to do a subtle line right across my lash line. Twiggy would do double lashes on her top lashes and singles on her bottom. I'm not going to do any lashes because I'm bad at them. So I'm just going to do mascara. I'm just going to do a tiny little flick, just one that goes kind of straight out. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I am actually going to take a darker brown shade. I'm going to take this one right here on the same tiny little brush before and just oomph up my crease a little bit with the black eyeliner. It's looking a little subtle. And I'm just blending it into the top up here. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that blue shade again on that tiny little brush right here. And I'm just going to go right under my eyes with that. Alright, now I'm going to take the Tarte Fake Awake like eyeliner pencil. This is just like a nude. Just give my eyes an even more round, exaggerated shape. Yeah, we good. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, alright, now on to the lashes. So I'm going to take the Maybelline Total Drama Temptation mascara, and since I'm not doing false lashes, I really want my lashes to look thick and long, so I'm going to use a few different mascaras. So I'm going to take this first, and I'm just going to clump it on there, and I'm just going to roll it a little bit. Do this little thing when I focus, where I go like a little tongue thing, so I apologize if I have my tongue out for far too long in any of these videos. I'm gonna make tiny little eyelashes right below my lashes with just liquid eyeliner. Twiggy revolutionized this, and it just kind of makes your eyes look way more doll-like and huge and like fluttery. Hello, it's future editing Allie here. I just wanted to say this next part, the lashes that I'm gonna draw in, not the best work I've ever done. If you want to do lashes like this, then I'd do something similar to this guy right here. That's what I was trying to go for. So, you know, some people make mistakes. I'm including it so you can see what I did. Don't do what I do in this one thing specifically. So I'm just gonna add tiny little triangles underneath my lashes. So I'm just gonna kind of bring them kind of like that. So I'm just kind of pulling down my skin and trying my best. Okay, you know what? That's good enough. And then that way you have just like little kind of imperfect lashes underneath your eyes. Now I'm gonna take the Benefit Roller Lash and I'm just gonna add that to my top lashes. And I'm also gonna add that to my lower lashes. I'm still filming.
Have fun.
Thanks.
Remember there's a meeting at 10.
And now I'm gonna go in with my CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume Mascara. This one's just to like kind of comb out the lashes, give them a bit more length. Just kind of puts them in the place you want them to be in. All right, now I'm gonna do the same to my lower lashes. Now with that tiny brush again, I'm gonna go back into that base shade that we used on the Morphe palette, and I'm just going to highlight my eyes using that. Just put a little bit in the inner corner. Well, we're actually gonna put a lot in the inner corner. I'm gonna actually put a little bit of that white shade from the Besame Cosmetics palette as well. And then I'm gonna go back in with that base shade just to mellow it out a little bit. And then I'm gonna do the same, but on my brow bone. So I'm gonna take that white shade, and then I'm gonna take that base shade and kind of blend it out. And I'm just gonna take this color right here, and I'm just gonna use that for my brows with the tiny little brush that we also used for our crease. I'm just gonna add that to my brows. Twiggy had a really natural brow shape, but it was very much completely filled in. Just gonna fill my thick brows in very evenly with an arch, and hope I don't go too thick. So I'm just gonna be using the Becca Cosmetics Sunlit Bronzer in the shade Capri Coast, and I'm just gonna take a little bit of that on my Real Techniques contour brush and just stick it right in my cheekbones. Kind of like a little bit above my cheekbones just to warm up my face a little bit, and that's literally all I'm gonna do. Little to no contour. Now I'm gonna take my Becca x Jaclyn Hill palette. If you couldn't tell, I'm very, very much a fan of Becca's cheek products. And I'm gonna take the middle shade, which is the shade called Amaretto, on a Real Techniques blush brush, just on your cheekbones and on your apples of your cheeks. I'm going to take a brown eyeliner. I'm just using a brown liquid eyeliner from Sephora. And since Twiggy had some freckles, I'm just gonna add a few to myself, just right around here and my nose. Okay, and once I've let my freckles dry, I'm just gonna take Beauty Blender and I'm just gonna pat on top of those just to make them look a little bit more natural. And then I'm gonna take my blush brush again and just brush a bit of blush across the nose. So now what was popular to do was have a darker outline and then a lighter lipstick with a gloss over the top. So I'm gonna take this kind of mauvey toned NYX Suede matte lip liner in the shade Whipped Caviar. I'm just gonna line my lips normally with that. I'm just gonna line a bit on the inside just so it blends out. And now that I've lined, I'm gonna take a like lighter shade. This is just a little Tarte sampler of their Rainforest of the Sea line of their lipsticks in the shade Rum Punch. So I'm just gonna take that and apply that just kind of to the center of my lips. Now that I've done that, I'm just gonna kind of wait for that to dry down a little bit. And now I'm gonna put on some lip gloss. So I'm gonna use the Fenty Beauty. I think this is just the Fenty Glow lip gloss. I love this stuff. Just a normal, like frosty lip gloss color, and I'm just gonna put this all over my lips. So this is the finished look. I hope you guys like this video, and let me know if you guys recreate this. I want to see everything. Tweet me, Instagram me, and make sure you subscribe to see more from me, and also click the little bell icon so you see all of my videos. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button and comment down below if you have any comments or questions. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys have a very, very pleasant day. Bye! I think I'm good. I think I'm done. Nice!